Starting broadcast. Are we live? Live control room. Stream status is okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are we live right now? I have no idea. Are we live? All right, I see I am live. What's up, Vince? Victor Colon. Hey, how's it going, Nick? So right now, I guess I'm just testing out Google Hangouts today. Trying to see how good it is. Well, just jump into the chat when you're ready, Jason Vong, or the stream if you want. Andres Murillo, hey man, nice to meet you. All the way from Costa Rica. Feel free to drop any Sony or camera gear questions down below if you have any. Again, I'm just testing out Google Hangouts today. Nick, what's new? Well, I finally, hopefully the stream is good. I don't know how good the quality is, but I think in a previous stream I said that my my internet speeds aren't really good here with AT&T. So I went over to the Verizon store. I don't know if you've heard about, for those of you in the US, I guess, Verizon's doing their unlimited data plan. And I went to Verizon and I picked up this Verizon Jetpack. What's really crazy is that the Verizon Jetpack that I got, when I went into the store, it is pricey. It's not cheap. It's $130 a month, but it's unlimited 4G LTE. And I'd asked the person working there if it was going to be throttled or deprioritized in any way, and the guy didn't really know. It was something brand new. So I guess for those of you out there that need access to 4G LTE consistently or really good access to data, I've been testing it out. I'm actually, let's see here. I'm already at 48.2. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but I'm already at 48.25 gigabytes I've been running on this, and I'm going to be testing it some more. So far, it seems like my download speeds have kind of slowed a little bit, but my upload speeds seem to be pretty good so far. So, pretty happy with that. Diego Stewart Films, what's up, man? From South Florida. How you doing out there, man? Must be kind of late already in Florida, right? It's like, what, 11:30 now in Florida? Travis Ellison says, just sold my Canon 70D, only have a 6300 now. I want to go full frame. Travis, do you want to stay with with Sony, right? That's what you want to stick with? Victor Cologne, any news on new Sony stuff coming out? None that I know of. If we get Jason Vong on Google Hangouts right now, maybe he might be able to chime in. He was just in Japan at CP Plus. Maybe he can answer that question in a little bit. Liao Joe says your video is very good for me. That's great. That's awesome to hear. Travis Ellison, Canon 5D Mark IV or waiting for the next Sony drop, either the A7 Mark III or the A9. So again, I don't know if Jason Vong got any information about that at CP Plus. He should be joining the stream, I guess, the Hangouts. But if you're really dead set on sticking with Sony, I would wait maybe until next month if you're not in a rush. That's just my opinion. And then also, what's your budget? I mean, when the A9 comes out, it's going to be an expensive camera. So, I mean, right now, if you're not worried about gray market, you can pick up the A7R2 for $23.99 on eBay. Travis. Nick says it's much better than the second last streaming. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. I'm actually using 5D Mark IV. I've got this light on my side over here from Pergear. I'm finally using the light that they sent me. So if Pergear sees this video, I am using your light that you sent me to review. Nick K, how is the 10-18 Sony lens for realtors, photography, realty? I don't shoot realty photography a lot, but you definitely do need a wide angle lens. I mean, if you're using an APS-C camera, I mean, that's really your only choice. There's also prime lenses from like Zeiss that you can look at, but I'm not very well versed in that area. Ben says, are you going to pick up a Canon 77 or T7i for your students to use for video? For students to use. No, I think we're going to stick with the Canon 60Ds that we have and some 70Ds and the D5200s, Vince. And you mentioned Verizon throttles at 28 gigs when the network is busy, is my understanding. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting. I'm okay with it throttling my download speeds, but as long as the upload speeds are good, I'm happy with that. I just need it for live streaming and also for backing up my files. I've been doing that with it. Let's see, Nick. I'm sorry, Travis. It's tough, man. It is a tough thing to choose. Nick Lawrence says, have you experienced any overheating when video on the Alpha 6500? If you do not have the extended temperature activated, yes, it will overheat. So I don't have my 6500 handy on me right now, but if the 6500, the extended power option is not activated, it will overheat. I've had it overheat. I had it like somewhere on my set here when I was using it for like a shot and the lights were beaming on it, it overheated. So that answers that question, Nick. When it starts getting warmer in California, I'm gonna test up the 6500. I'm sure it's gonna overheat. I'm positive. If it's in direct sunlight, that camera's gonna overheat. But I'm just wondering. I just gotta test it out. Victor Cologne, full frame. I don't want to spend money on the A7 II if something new is gonna come out. Well, Victor, here's the thing. Well, here's what I would have to say, Victor. What's your budget, right? I mean, I'm all big for the thing is like I'd like to see the new thing that comes out. But when that new thing comes out, it's gonna be real full price and really expensive too. So yeah. Travis Ellison, I like Canon for its professionalism and reliability, but Sony's versatility. Travis, that is a really good point, man. I agree with that point you're making. Canon really has it for its professionalism. Well, I wouldn't. I love the handling on my Canon, man. I just love the handling on it, and it just works. I know its limitations, when it comes to Sony, for example, when I had the 6300, it was like, man, okay, great, flip out screen, EDF, I'm going out there, I'm shooting, and it overheats. You know, just something like that, and you need it to work, and you're worried it's not going to deliver. That's not a good feeling. It really isn't. And even the A7R2 that I have can overheat. I've had it overheat when it got warmer, when the weather was warmer early on last year during the summertime. It overheated. You know that it happens, man. So it just depends. It really depends, Travis. I don't know. Do you need 4K? I mean, I shoot the 4K with the Canon, the 5D Mark IV. I just I transcode my files to some sort of like GoPro format that retains most of the quality. File size is lower, but it's easier to work with. Andres recommends the 12mm Zeiss to Nick. Thanks, Andres, for helping them out. Travis says, thanks for the info. I'll keep asking questions. Yeah, go for it, man. What's your price list for the new Sigma Art 24 to 70mm f2.8? $1,300 US, $1,299 US. That's what I think the Sigma's price is going to be at. 1,300. I would say $1, but it's not going to happen. That's what I think. You know, the Sigma art, when I saw Jason Vong's live stream, I was really interested in it because I saw, I could be wrong, with the Sony, does the Sony G Master, does that extend out? Being real quick, Sony 24 to 7, unless someone can answer it in the comments, does the 2470 G Master extend? No, it doesn't. Doesn't look like it does. But the Sigma 24 to 70 does. Yeah, it does extend. It is more compact. Jason Vaughn, okay, how do we do this? I'll invite you to Google Hangouts. So let's just see what happens. Oh, I almost invited a different Jason Vaughn. All right, I posted an invitation, Jason. I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know how that works. I've never used Google Hangouts in my life. Music is live. This may sound ridiculous, but is the Alpha 6300 and 6500, which one's best for low light? I think they're exactly the same. I think they're exactly the same. I just don't, I've never really checked it. I mean, for me, I think with image quality, I mean, I'll go to 6400 ISO if I have to, but if I don't have to, I don't want to go past 3200 or 4000 on those two cameras. Nikki930 says, hey, watching from Japan. Hey, what time is it in Japan right now, Nikki? Got any recommendation on a camera strap? I went and bought the Peak Design strap because I dropped my A7R2. I think I mentioned that in my last live stream. And what's great about the Peak Design strap is that, and this isn't, I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I'm just talking about the product, but you can remove the straps off the camera. So I really wanted something where I can remove the straps off of it. Let's see here. Let me pull it up. I don't know. Why is my internet lagging? Damn you, Verizon. I'm paying good money for this Verizon. It work. Let's see. This isn't the strap that I got. I'm just gonna try to screen share this real quick. It's just this concept. But look at Peak Design. It has these little tie lugs or whatever they are. This isn't the actual strap. It's just like a wrist strap. But they have some products there from Peak Design. So Nikki, that's what I would look at. Jason Vong says he doesn't see it. Anybody out there, how do I add a person to Google Hangouts? How do I add a person to Google Hangouts? How is that? Sorry for the technical difficulties. Do you have an email or something I can just type in? Invite Brandon Lee too. I don't know if Brandon Lee might be too cool for us. Victor Colon says his budget is open. Victor, you got money for days. Looks like you can buy everything under the sun, man. That's awesome. What price would you go if how much would you be willing to pay for a Sony A9 if it's as good as it says as we think it might be? Kenneth De La Rosa says, "How you doing? 50 to 100 Sigma on the Alpha 6500. Is it worth the wait for its quality video side?" Man, Kenneth, I have that lens. I have not used it a whole lot, unfortunately. It's heavy, and I'm just not finding like case scenarios for me to use it enough. So I can't see. Here's the problem. See, because it's heavy, I'm not using it. That's not a good thing, right? So I feel if I was gonna put a really heavy lens, I'd rather just put a 70 to 200 instead of the 50 to 100 on my camera, if that makes any sense. So right now, for me personally, I don't know if it's working out for me. All right, let's see here. See if we can get Jason Vong on the stream here. Oh. All right, I'll jump to some questions in just a second here. Just trying to get things going. Again, thank you for joining the live stream. If you are here and you'd like to support me, if I've answered a question, don't feel free to give the video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. I tend to get some thumbs down later because they're like, man, this video is so long. It's just all kinds of stuff going on. So if you just get some questions ready for me, I'll go ahead and tackle them in just a second here. Just trying to make sure we can get infamous Jason Vong on here. LMAS. It's a hard email. Difficult email there, Jason. All right. Okay. Take a look at the questions. Slayer Inc. Lure Company. How do you like the smallrig cage for the Alpha 6500? Have you ever thought about adding the tilta wood handle to the cage? I mean, I have the handle. Okay, crap. Hang on, folks. Hang on. Hang on, Slayer. I'm going to answer that question for you. I'm just trying to send an email here. Here. I don't know what's going on. Oh man, I just laughed, Jason. I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry, man. I have emails from the past too, but I don't know. Did you get the link for the live stream, Jason, or no? I don't know. I tried to send you an email too, but it's either I'm typing it wrong or it's just not working. I don't know. I don't know, Jason. Let me know if it's working or not. It's just not. It's not working right now. No. Damn it! I was typing an L, Jason. I was typing an L. Get those questions ready for me, people. I'm gonna get to those questions, and we'll have Jason Vong on here, and get those questions going. Just trying to take care of some business here. Again, we're just trying to work out the details. Once I got this whole live stream stuff down and everything, I think I'll get better and better, hopefully. All right, Jason, I have sent that email to you. Hopefully it gets to you. Hopefully it gets to you. All right, let's jump back to the questions here. All right, Slayer Lure Company. Jason Vong joined this video. How does this work now? This is going to show up on the live stream. Jason, can you hear me? Are you muted or something?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Is there like a way to do like a split screen kind of deal, or what's the deal here? Does it just do?
I have no clue.
What did you use to stream last time? Was it Google Hangouts?
I use OBS.
Okay, so you did use OBS. Okay.
Can the people on the chat hear me?
Yeah, folks on the chat, can we hear? Yes, we can. Yeah, they said they can hear you.
Oh, they can hear me? That's great. My face is not important, but my voice is.
Dude, when did you get back to Japan, from Japan?
I literally just got back this morning at like 10, and I slept the whole day. So in a way, I'm good that I'm not on video because my room is a mess, and I redid my hair, applied some makeup on just so I'm camera ready.
That's too funny, man.
What are you using to stream right now? Just Google Hangouts?
I'm using Google Hangouts, but I'm still using my Elgato capture card and then my 5D Mark IV.
Maybe that's why. I don't know. Or like, is there a way for you to toggle seeing me on the bottom of the screen?
Oh. Hang on, my camera just died.
Oh no. Okay, well, we're running into so many technical difficulties right now.
Oh, we're good. We're good. It's back, I think.
There we go. You're back. You're back.
All right.
Well, it's cool.
So you just got from back. It's all good, man. We're just trying to figure this out. So you just got back from Japan, right? That's great. Anything you want to share with the viewers here? Like anything interesting from Sony out there, or nothing at all?
I don't know. What do they want to know? Because I was actually gonna do a live tomorrow about it, or make. Oh,
then let's don't.
No, I can do it now. I'm ready to share, man. I'm like itching to share.
I mean, they ask a question. If you can still see the questions there. Let's see. Let me just go down the line.
Sure.
Someone was asking about the smallrig cage earlier. I do like it. I have the handle, but I don't use the handle very much. Slayer. Let's see. Someone's asking, Nix was saying, I finally experienced overheating with my A6000. I've been videoing some sermons for the entire week, and it overheated after 40 minutes. It's not a nice feeling, especially on paid jobs. Jason, what happened when your camera overheated?
Oh, let's not talk about it. So yeah, I reset the camera, and I think I told you about my issue with the touchscreen, and then you recommended to me that I should just reset my whole camera, and then because of that point, I never turned back the feature on. So I partially blame you.
Oh,
Nah,
thank you.
I'm not messing. But yeah, no, my buddy and I, we both of our 6500, we did not have it on. So, it was pretty bad. So,
You know
um,
what's weird is that I hear people don't turn it on because they're worried it might damage their camera. Are you on that camp? Do you feel that way about it?
I
Or
mean, as long as you're not doing anything too strenuous, I mean, if you're leaving it on for like maybe an hour, hour and a half, I think it should be fine. But if you're like,
I mean, I feel like it should be fine. I mean,
yeah,
most people you wouldn't be stress testing it intentionally, but I would
I
imagine if you were in a scenario where you needed continuous recording, I don't think the 6500 would be the best choice at that point, actually.
Yeah, I feel like a majority of the people out there, they wouldn't stress test it like, what Max Europe did with TCS TV. I mean, like, I don't think any of us would be in
Yeah.
that situation that often. We would just probably, I mean, yeah, I mean, the only time that I would probably worry about it is we're shooting in harsh sun conditions during the summertime here.
Yeah.
That'd be the only time I worry about it, because like my 6300 and my A7R2 have overheated in the sun like after 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the only thing I would worry about. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. But I don't know. I'm just still waiting for the weather to pick up in California once it gets really hot to see if it'll just overheat the 65. I'm sure it will, but I'm just wondering if it'll actually just get 30 minutes, a
Mhm.
solid 30 minutes in the sun. But I don't know. We'll see.
I mean,
Andres said,
sorry.
go ahead. Andres was saying, invite Brandon Lee. Do you know Brandon Lee, Jason?
Who doesn't know Brandon Lee? That guy is a legend. And I only say that after only knowing him for like what, 4 months.
Like you've met him before?
No. Like
I just know
yeah,
his channel.
I've only discovered him from his Sony lenses that he used in his production, and then it was until then I discovered he was a pretty big deal on Vimeo. Truth be told, I'm not always on Vimeo, so I don't know the community.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy's work is amazing.
You know, my thing with Vimeo is like, is there even a platform for monetization with Vimeo? Is
You
there
can
even something like that?
you can do like pay-per-view kind of thing on Vimeo. So there is revenue to be had there if you want to do any sort of like rental video service. Like if you create a documentary or something, you can definitely market it there. I think you just have to make sure you have a pro account with them. That's all.
Maybe the other benefit is that you get away with copyrighted content. I don't know. That's the vibe I get. I think with
Yeah,
Vimeo, I don't know.
they're
That's what I think.
they're a little bit more lax, but I still think they crack down if there's any copyrighted material on the site.
All right, another question came up. Sleeping Elephant says, "Do you think the Rotolights are a good product?" I don't have them personally, so I
No,
don't know.
sorry, neither do I.
Sorry, Sleeping Elephant. Andres Maria says, "Sony Squad, Jason Lanier, Danny, Jason Vong, and Brandon Lee." Will we ever get Jason Lanier and Brandon Lee
I feel like we're the four people right there. The other two are like at a whole different level than
exactly.
we are. Like you and I, we do YouTube videos, and Brandon Lee is a filmmaker. And Jason Lanier is like photography legend. So
yeah,
we're gonna be YouTube legends. That's
there you
all
go. I agree with that. That's maybe it right there. Krishan Virendra Moral, Canon 760D versus the Sony A6000. Which is better, 760D or the Sony A6000?
Ooh, let me
What
see.
is the Canon 760D in the US?
I feel like it's what is that?
T6S. That is a
T6S.
T6S.
There's a 770D now, right? I saw it.
Hey, what?
Yeah,
What is that?
there's a 770D now, and I have
Yeah.
I saw it at CT Plus. I didn't play with it, but I saw a lot of other YouTubers starting to make videos about it, so I thought it's a new camera.
Just trying to capitalize on that new stuff, those popular keywords.
Yeah.
So the T6S or the 760D versus the A6000. I don't know. I wouldn't. For me personally, I wouldn't get. For me, if I was going to stick with Canon, I wouldn't get the 760D. I would get a 70D or 80D because it seems like retail, the T6S is about the same price in my opinion. But I don't know. What do you think? T6S or A6000?
You're more of the Canon expert, so I'm going to agree with you on that.
I thought you had a Canon camera before.
I had a T3i, dude. I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you saw me fumbling on my first live when I was at CP Plus, but I was handling the Sigma 24-70 on the 1DX Mark II, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I don't know how the hell this camera works. And I even asked the guy, I was like, hey, how do you switch it to manual mode? And then he doesn't know. That. And I was like, great. I was like, I'm stuck in aperture priority. I didn't know how to change it. I was like, this is not going well.
Dude, that was so bad. I was cringing for you, man.
I'm so sorry. I'm glad no one else here.
It was okay, but
I'm pretty sure Steve SP.
Yeah.
He saw it. I hope he's not watching right now. So he doesn't tell the other people how bad it was.
Where is he? He's on everything.
Yeah, he's usually on.
He's everywhere. I know when I was it yesterday when I did a live stream, he was on the chat. He was in the mall. He was gonna leave already. He stayed in the mall just to watch the rest of the live stream.
That's dedication. I love him. He's great.
I have no idea. That's crazy. Yeah.
Thank you for your support, Steve, if you're watching.
Steve, he's probably gonna see it someday, but
yeah.
Hi, Steve. All right, Travis Ellison, how tack sharp would you say the 5D Mark IV performs during sports action situations?
That's all.
Image quality is very, very good, especially with low light. I really enjoy the 5D Mark IV. The resolution, I would like, for example, the ISO performance is probably I think was pretty similar when I did my test with the 5D Mark III, but because you get the additional resolution, Travis, you just get so much detail that it makes up for it, if that makes any sense. And so when I was comparing images, man, the 5D Mark IV, the image quality, I really am very happy with it. But that's just me when regard to sports and action situations. All right, Nick K, what's a good lighting kit for $100? I don't know what kind of lighting kit that is. What kind of lighting kit, Nick? With a backdrop, photography, for video.
Young Newell.
Look at some Young Newell stuff. I love
Young Newell.
Yeah, Young Newell is cool. And then Per Gear had sent me. I'm using this light right here from Per Gear. They sent it to me, and I didn't review it when I was supposed to, so they're probably mad at me.
Oh, sorry. Wait, is this for video or photo? I just
said it was for video.
Oh, never mind. Forget what I said. I thought it was for photo. Yeah, go with Per Gear. They're the best.
No, I don't know, man. You just. Well, Young Newell. This light back here is Young Newell. It's a continuous light as well. But I'm also testing out the Per Gear. But you can look at Young Newell or even Per Gear, their lights and stuff. But it's slightly above $100, but it's close to that price range.
I personally use the one that I think Craig Adams and DSLR Video Shooter was recommending. I forgot what it's called. It's $30, but
$30.
It's
not bad.
It's real. I mean, if you watch my last few videos that was taking place in my room, that's what I used. It's actually really, really not bad for $30. What's going to run you a lot of money is getting those Sony NWF whatever batteries.
Yeah.
Those are what's gonna run you the money. But for $30, the lights are actually pretty good.
Or you can just go to Home Depot and buy some shop lights, and you can buy these silver dishes on it for about, I don't know, $15 a pop. Just buy a light for it if you really want to go that route. All right. Jad McDad says, "Hello. Any suggestions for a Sony macro lens under $800?"
I
Hey,
feel
there's
like
a 50, isn't there?
there's a
There's a 50
50.
now.
I feel like you can get
There's
a used 90 mil at that price range too.
That is true. Let's check the world of eBay.
Jeez. Yeah, you have a lot of options, 50 or 90.
You can adapt. I would say you could adapt too, but you're right. I'm seeing Best Buy, even Best Buy open box, 90 millimeter macro, $849. And I'm sure if you just hunch around, you can definitely get it for under about $800. Jad. Victor Colon says you can do split screens on webinars. Is that even a thing on Google Hangouts?
I have no clue.
I don't know. It's just great that we're trying this out. Might as well.
You're like, let's do a test. I was like, right now, man, I just got out of the shower. I look like a mess.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They care later. They care later.
Yeah, no problem.
Right now on the live stream, it's just
I'm just glad no one can see me right now.
Oh, they can see you. All right. No, they can't.
No, I don't think so. I'm watching the live right now, and I don't see myself on the screen. So
there you are. You can say you can say hi, right? So you didn't see Locke in Japan.
No, I was up. Hey, what the heck? Oh, they see me now. Oh shoot. Okay, there we go. Good thing I look good. No, I saw his video that he was playing with the M6 at the Canon booth, and I was like, oh shoot, Locke is here. Like I had a feeling he would be going to CP Plus, but then I was like, I don't know. And then I saw the video, and I was like, oh crap, I want to run into him, but
yeah,
I don't want to be racist and all, but he blended in with all the other Asians, including myself, so I didn't find him.
So you didn't bump into any other
no.
celebs,
I don't know if you guys know Chung. I think his name is Chung Ha. He does like a lot of Premiere Pro tutorials. But he was also there too. Yeah, he does like a lot of like Premiere stuff, Premiere tutorials. So, but no, I didn't bump into anybody.
That kind of sucks. So you're just kind of were you just kind of out there like wandering around and
I was for the most part I was soloing it, but then on one of the days I had a friend that tagged along.
Well, that's good though. I mean, for that kind of event, for what CP Plus is it? You just register to go to it, or just anybody can just walk into that location? Like
you have to register first, so you sign up online. If you sign up after a certain deadline, it's $15 to get in, which isn't bad at all. I mean, $15 is like nothing to like see so many cool stuff. So I feel like it's worth it regardless. But if you signed up and get in for free, even better.
How were they with when you're talking to them about gear and equipment and approaching some of their kiosks? Are they like nice to you, or was there language barrier issues, or were they pretty accommodating?
A mixture of what you just said. So Japanese customer service is like top notch. So they're always really nice. But also there definitely was a bit of a language barrier because most of the people there, we only be able to communicate with you at a very basic English level. But if there is someone who's able to talk to you there, then yeah, great. But there were only like maybe one or two out of each booth, I'd say, that would be able to speak in fluent English.
Okay. Well, that's good though. But they didn't have like a translator or anything then, or?
No, not on deck. But if they really need to find somebody, they'll find you somebody to talk to.
Just say you're Jason Lanier, and I just need to take all this equipment out here
Like
and just take it out.
you look too Asian to be Jason Lanier.
All right, let's jump to these questions here. Southwestern Studio says, you shoot sports with a 1650 Sony kit lens. Man, what kind of sports are you shooting, Southwestern Studios? I'm not saying you can't. It's amazing that you're able to do that. Brandon says, what city in California are you in? So I said Brandon's Brenon. You know what? You know what's really funny? Ever since I started doing this, I thought I was really good with names, with people's names, Jason. I thought I was pretty good. And all of a sudden I started seeing this stuff, and I'm just trying to see people's names. I have no idea. I'm just like, I'm just lost. I'm just lost.
I feel you, man. I'm sorry if we butcher your names.
Yeah, we're so sorry. Renan, what city? Just think like Bakersfield, California area. And Jason, where are you at?
Los Angeles, LA.
There you go. LA area.
La La Land, as Craig Adams likes to call it.
How is Craig Adams in person? Is he who he is on his YouTube channel?
Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, he's a big goofball like he is in his vlogs. And also, he's a really great teacher in real life as well. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw my tellings of shooting behind the scenes for him, but he's always just like kind of narrating what he's doing. So I was able to follow along. I actually just learned a lot, just like, shadowing him. Not really shadowing him, shooting BTS for him, but it just feels like I was shadowing him at the same time. So he's a really good mentor.
Man, that's awesome to know. That's good.
Yeah.
But you say, I think you might have mentioned that I don't know if he's still really pushing his wedding film school stuff. Or
I think he is. I mean, he recently made some videos. I think I missed one of his lives, but he said it was like it was saying is wedding film school dead, but I don't think it is. I missed the live, so I don't know what he said, but I think it's still going. I know he did a few podcasts and he said a few tutorials are coming up, but yeah, I missed out a lot on the YouTube world for a week. So I definitely need to catch up.
That wasn't that much, man.
Hell, you put out the converters, which I'm very interested in. I gotta catch up on it.
Oh, it's just they're okay.
I'll say that.
The thing is, it's like the whole thing with the converters. It's good, but it's not like what I was saying in my other video. It's not a replacement for a 300 2.8 lens or a 400 2.8 lens.
Okay.
But if you need the reach, it's there. But you do lose some sharpness. But I don't know if Tony Northrup did a test, and I think he's the kind of person that would do it, where he would do a test. Let's say, for example, just a 70-200 G master, and then compare it to the 1.4x extender. Would it make more sense just to crop the photo in versus add the extender on? If that makes any sense, because it's not really. It's all it's doing is just magnifying, right? I think it's just magnifying it, but it's not changing the depth of field really. It's not changing the compression really either. It's the same. So I don't know. I don't know all the optical stuff with that. If someone would like to chime in.
Well, then you just saved me $500.
I really think you could just take the picture and just crop it in. It was your A7R2. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, just take the shot, crop it in, and it's gonna be okay. That's what I would say.
Woo!
But but it's still nice to have. Maybe the 1.4. I don't know about the 2. The 2, you definitely are going to see some sharpness issues.
Well, the only reason why I was actually curious about it in the first place, and I don't know if you were the one that I talked to like way back when, but I wanted to get it because I shoot a lot of concerts, and there are times where it's just like I find myself having to shoot from the soundboard, which is like way further from the pit, and not having the 300, not having 500 on handy, having the teleconverter might be a good idea. So that's the only reason why I was interested in the teleconverters. I mean, I do lose some light though. I think like it goes down to like a 4.0 aperture.
Yeah, it goes to f4.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I still got to do some more tests. But autofocus wise, I felt it wasn't. It definitely is not tack sharp like just with the G Master alone. That's what I've seen.
Okay.
But have you just considered maybe just are you just big on shooting with the A7R2 maybe on console? What about with the 6500? That'll just give you some magnification. There's some reach.
Yeah, for sure. But honestly, from the last concert that I shot, I would probably prefer to shoot with the A7R2. I just love the photos that come out of my A7R2.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. But the 65.
Isn't there just like a magic? Isn't there just like a magical look that the A7R2 gives, man? I don't know. I see it every now and then with the dynamic range and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take a photo and it will just look. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Even in video.
Video
It just has that look.
65. I'm going to give it the 6500 for the video, but for photo A7R2, I like to pair it up with the 1.4 lenses and crisp concert photos, especially with the IAF. I mean, like you wouldn't shoot 1.4 for a concert, but with the IAF and there's good lighting going on inside, yeah, it's gonna look amazing.
So you've had that work out for you then, the eye autofocus then? In the concert environment,
as long as there's a decent amount of lighting, I would say at a pop rock concert, the IAF would do really well. But if it's going to be like a rock metal concert where the light is just like blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, no eye autofocus for you.
Hey, since we're on the topic of concerts, I was always wondering because I thought Sony cameras had issues with like certain laser light or something like that at some point, and you would get these like if you're recording video, you would get these sunspots or whatever. That's what kind of scared me with the Sony A7S in the past or something. I don't know. Have you seen that issue before?
No, this is the first time I've heard about the issue. So,
Then if you've never encountered it, then I guess it's not a problem at all.
Maybe I just don't notice it. The next time you see some photos and you see that problem, let me know.
Oh, it's not really in the photos. It's the video. Like the lights hit and it causes this whole issue with it. But
are you talking about that laser burning sensor thing that happened to somebody?
Has that happened to you?
If it did, there would have been a video about it. I mean, let me just knock on some wood right now. There we go.
You're almost on that pro support stuff, so you should be all right.
Not yet. I had to finalize my details tomorrow, but
really, what does that mean? What does it mean? Finalize details.
I just have to give them some money.
Oh, that's the part that they.
That's the part. Yeah, I just need to give them the dollar bill, and I'm going to be on that support.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that that you're finally getting that.
Oh yeah, you need to get on it, man. I'm telling you.
I really should. Have you looked at Jared Poland's My Gearbolt app?
No, I'm actually very curious.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about it, but I need to check it out. I haven't checked it out.
It's only for iOS right now, so I don't have any iOS phones or anything. So I was using it on my iPad.
Boom.
And I was calculating all the amount of stuff that I have, and I was getting like, oh crap.
It's not fun to add up all that.
It's just kind of scary when I was adding everything up. I'm like, I could never get all this value back by reselling this. I just can't.
Yeah, that's the sad part, knowing that you're buying Sony, that your resale value isn't going to be the same or close, or yeah. I mean, it's great if you're buying the used stuff, but if you're selling the used stuff, then yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's good. I really like. It's very easy to use to get everything kind of aligned, and it's more, I guess, just getting into the habit of using it, I would say, is probably the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see the questions here. It's been a while.
I feel like everybody has kind of had that conversation of their own.
All right, question everything says, would there be a noticeable difference in image quality between a 24 megapixel APS-C sensor and a 16 megapixel APS-C sensor? I guess they're comparing, for example, the Alpha 6300 and the Fujifilm X-T10. Would you see a difference in image quality between basically 24 versus 16? What's your take, Jason? 16 versus 24 megapixels.
Depends. I mean, if you're uploading to Facebook, it's probably not going to be super noticeable.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it just depends on how are you going to be using these images? I mean, like the way I see megapixel working out for me is the more megapixel I have, the more room that I have to crop in if I need to. So that's just my take on megapixels.
Yeah, question everything. I think if, let's say, for example, the sensors were equivalent in terms of performance, especially the dynamic range, obviously you'll get more detail out of the bigger, more megapixels.
Yeah, that's
I would imagine. But other than that, I think it just depends on where you're putting the files at. Are you printing big? If it's going digital, then it might not be an issue. I know some people that probably retouch, they like slightly bigger files. So that's what I would say on that. Andres Maria, what do you think about the new 100 millimeter T 5.6? Did you see that out there, Jason? That 100 millimeter G Master? I forgot about that lens. It's kind of lost traction.
The 100 STF.
Yeah, I think that's what they're talking about.
Okay, so
it's supposed to be
I'm gonna give myself a quick plug. My CP Plus video is coming, and I have a bit of footage and some test shots of it. Yeah, but yeah, it was there. It was there. Dude, those bokeh balls, ooh, smooth round balls. Even for videos too, they look amazing. I mean, they look like little fairies. Yeah, you played Zelda, right? You know those little fairies.
Yeah.
They look like fairies.
Then my question is, when they're saying the transmission is 5.6, am I still getting f2.8 light?
That's what they're saying.
Lens?
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
So that TF 5.6 is equivalent to f2.8. What you're seeing on the screen is still going to say f 5.6, but it's actually telling you the T stop, not the f stop. So in the f stop, it's 2.8. So it's confusing. But
wait, so when you had it mounted, did it say 5.6?
It says 5.6. Yeah.
Okay.
But
so it's 5.6 equivalent aperture of f2.8.
Yes.
But light gathering of, is it 5.6 or 2.8? But you're saying
2.8.
It's really the same. It's really basically the same. It's just that's how they're explaining it.
Yeah, so T 5.6 equals f 2.8 is from what I understand, from what they tell me at WPPI.
Would you buy that lens?
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe.
Probably not. If I have to be really honest and be smart about my finance, probably not, because I don't see myself needing it. I already have the 85-1.4 and the 70-200 2.8. If I need to do any portrait work, those are my two lenses. So as much as I like those smooth round balls, I'm going to have to pass on the 100 for now.
Maybe Manny will probably get it, I would imagine.
Maybe.
If you're really doing a lot of portraits, I mean, I think if you're doing a lot of portraits, that'd be definitely something to look at, I would imagine.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Kenneth De La Rosa, MC11 or Metabones Mark IV for adapted lens for video. Have you used the Metabones?
Yeah, I sold mine, but yeah, I have.
The Mark IV or the
Mark IV? Yeah.
How was it for you then when you were using it? Do you remember?
For photos, yeah, I used it for photos too. Surprisingly, the 70-200 for Canon, it worked really well. I mean, there were times where it misfocuses, but for the most part, for photos, yeah, it works. But I think he's asking for videos.
Yeah, for video.
If you're looking for autofocus on the Metabones, don't bother for the video. It's just not going to work. For MC11 adapter, if you use the Sigma lenses,
Yeah.
it works, but you're gonna hear that AF humming noise. And even if it does work, it's a crapshoot. May not be very accurate. So, but either of those two adapters you can use if you're manual focusing. I mean, they both work just fine.
Yeah, I would say as far as feedback, Kenneth, it's just use if you are going to go with the MC11, you got to stick with the Sigma native lenses that work with it really well. You'll get really good continuous autofocus performance or decent, but as Jason mentioned, you'll get that humming noise. That's just how I would look at it. But for video specifically, like I said, I'm still on but don't expect native performance. You'll get some good performance with the MC11, but it's not going to be as good and quiet as the Sony class. So that's what I have to say about that. Nick K, good night photography. A night photography lens for under $1,000. Zeiss Bodice, is that under 1,000? I don't think it is. I hear mainly people go with like a wide angle, right, for night photography stuff. A wide angle prime.
Well, from what I understand, the Batis lenses are astro. They're really good for astro photography. So
yeah,
if that's within the same realm, sure. But if you're talking about like general night photography, like shooting, just shooting with some friends.
For some reason, I always think night photography is astrophotography.
No, I mean that. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right to think that. I mean, it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I just like think too much into the other meaning of it. But good, like night photography. I don't know. I like shooting with like 1.4 apertures whenever I'm in the dark. So
yeah, I would. Good night photography. So I don't know, like a 35 then maybe.
35 1.4 or even the is this for video or photo? The Sigma 30mm 1.4 is actually pretty awesome. It's an APS-C lens, but I played with it in Japan. It's actually autofocus really fast. The bokeh is amazing. Yeah.
There you go. I heard wasn't there some issues with it, compatibility issues, unless they had that all worked out. I guess.
That I did not know. I mean,
if it worked for you, then.
I mean, I only played with it for like 5 minutes, but from like the sample images that I took for myself, I was like, man, the bokeh looks amazing. Like it's very comparable to what I was getting with my 35 1.4, the actual full frame one too.
Nick also says, can you do time lapses on the Sony Alpha 6500? Like you can on a Nikon or Canon camera, or are you limited to only 1 frame per second? Man, I haven't really been using like the time lapse stuff on the Sony camera. So have you?
No, but I saw Philip Bloom's Instagram story. He was doing time lapse with the 65. Yeah, 6500. I think.
There you go, Nick. Hopefully that can lead you there. I don't have a really good answer.
So you just use the time lapse app, and then it would just take a photo every so often, depending on your interval.
GF Matt says, this is awesome. My Alpha 6500 is coming this week with a 35 1/8 and 18 105. Looking forward to working with that and the GH5 soon. That's interesting.
I'm glad he's open with the GH5. I don't know why. Sorry, go on.
Are you referencing your video you did about the GH5? Whoa.
Yeah. I don't know how my like and dislike bar just like met in the middle, but yeah. I don't know why people didn't like that video. I didn't say anything wrong. I feel like I praised two of the cameras, the GH5 and the 60 and the Sony. I said they're both really good cameras. But don't tell anyone else though that GH5 was very impressive. I'm serious. No, no. Okay, let me get this out of my chest. This is something I really wanted to say in tomorrow's stream / my video, whatever I choose to do. But the
Yeah.
GH5, I was playing with the in-body image stabilization, and holy crap, I was just hand holding it like this, and I felt like I was getting some really smooth panning. I mean, there's probably some little micro movements, but it ain't bad. It looks like I was using a tripod. And rolling shutter was like way like barely noticeable. Like if you're shaking with the 6500 a little bit, you're gonna see that. But
Yep, I agree.
with the GH5, you don't really see it. And I tried filming it with my 6500, the footage that I got from the GH5, because you can't record it on your memory card. But I was trying to like record what I recorded on the GH5, but the 6500. It still gave me that rolling shutter, so I was like, "Well, that defeats the purpose of it." But looking at the GH5 screen, that rolling shutter ain't bad at all. It's
Wow.
It was very impressive.
I mean, I think if that camera has good low light performance, like they've said it has, in some of the examples, I think it could be a very versatile event camera for video.
I know a lot of people were complaining about the GH4 being really bad at low light, but honestly, like when I was shooting weddings with it with my buddy, we didn't have that much issue with the low light. I mean, yeah, sometimes the reception at weddings get pretty damn dark, but he had the Voigtlander lenses and they go up to like 0.95, and we didn't run into too much noise issue.
I mean, I think with Metabones, I was not too. I was happy with results.
Yeah.
But with it just alone, I just wasn't not as good. Let's see here. 18105 is a great all-around lens. You'll love it. You're having your own conversation there.
People are questioning, are we still live? Yes, we're still live. we're tackling the questions very slowly, but we're getting there.
Travis says, do you all critique, give feedback? My Instagram is TravisTrav_DMV. Do you work at the DMV, Travis? Or what does that stand for? Also, Jason, what's your Instagram? Jason, what's your Instagram? How can people find you? Well, you're on YouTube too, so.
Jason Vong. Just click on my username. That's my YouTube channel. My Instagram is Jason V Media. I'll type it out again. Jason V Media.
There you go, folks.
Thank you, Travis and GFF Matt for following. It feels like I think I only have like one more before I hit 1,000 on Instagram.
Really? That's awesome. I was trying to look up methods to try and grow Instagram a bit faster.
God, literally one away. Thank you, GFF Matt. You're number 999. Thank you so much.
Can we get another follow for Jason Vong? He needs to get to 1,000. 1,000.
Also 5,000 some more for YouTube, so I can start doing live. If I had YouTube Live at CP Plus, that would have been amazing.
I really feel like you needed that would have been really handy for you, Jason. I really do think.
Yeah.
And Dave Sincere, smooth round balls. If there's anything that's gonna be taken out of context, Jason, is how you said that over it.
I didn't start that phrase, but it was actually a Sony artisan that actually started that. Spencer Pablo, I hung out with him at WPPI. He was he was just like, go play with those smooth round balls, man. And I was like, will do.
Let's see. I've seen that before. I've seen this person for AO and JO. Videography.
It's Adrian Outlaw. What's up, man?
Is that their name?
Yeah, AO stands for Adrian Outlaw. He's what Facebook.
Got it. Sony 50mm 1.8 APS-C versus the Sony FE f1.8. Which one's better? So the APS-C version and the full frame one. Have you used the non full frame?
No,
APS-C one.
I haven't gotten a chance to.
For me personally, I haven't used the APS-C, but the APS-C one has optical stabilization. So if you're using it on an A6000 or Alpha 6300, Adrian, then I would go with that other one. But in terms of optical quality, I don't know. I can't really help you with that.
Oh, I actually did use a 51.8. Well, for video, I used it at WPPI for one of the photo walks. Actually the was it the FE 1.8? Yeah, the FE 1.8 did pretty well, I think.
Okay.
Oh man, sorry, I actually don't remember if it's APS-C or not. Never mind, forget what I said.
Looks like question everything's answering some questions there for them. How much better is XAVCS versus the AVCHD on the A6000?
Avoid AVCHD. Avoid AVCHD.
Yeah, that's just.
No.
But why though? I forget why.
I hate it. I hate AVCHD. You can tell there's a significant quality loss when you use AVCHD. I think we accidentally shot AVCHD for the photo walk at WPPI, and holy shit, that footage was awful. I mean, the footage was great. It's just the quality was awful. Like, you can see the tear in the footage.
So just lower bit rate then, really.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah. So
because I know with the XAVCS codec, they require you to have a faster memory card. So I guess it goes hand in hand with the thing about you do need it has more bit rate with the XAVCS on the actual
shoot XAVCS. That's why would you say that?
And folks, again, while you're on the stream, if we're answering your questions or anything, if you want to help us out, feel free to give a like on the video to help get that shared while we're still doing this live stream. Because afterwards, I'll start getting dislikes after the video is streamed later.
Yeah, give them some likes.
All right,
you guys did awesome. 1,001. Thank you, folks. Thank you so much.
Oh, you got to 1,000.
1,001.
Try to show that again, Jason. 1,001. Finally. He can do.
This is Instagram marketing in the making.
You know what I don't get is why is Instagram doing a much better job with live stream or even Snapchat? I don't really use Snapchat, but why are they so much better at handling live streaming on an app other than YouTube? It's just kind of like their app is good for YouTube. It's just that you gotta have that 10,000 followers.
Yeah, I don't know, but Facebook has been very experienced with their live video, so I guess it transferred over to Instagram.
I get you. I haven't done Facebook. What I'm thinking about doing was I was looking at how to stream to both YouTube and Facebook at the same time.
I had that thought too in the shower. But go on.
There's a service you can get that will allow you to stream. I guess what it does is it takes your YouTube stream or whatever you're streaming to, takes it to one location and they push it out to both areas. Or any number of
all right. So what you're saying is a little less convoluted than what I was thinking. Literally, what I was thinking was one computer on Facebook, one on YouTube, and just film like this. But yours is obviously much better.
I don't know if that one method is free though. I think they were saying it was free before, but I don't know how much it is.
I'm sure it's going to cost money.
Yeah, I would charge money if I was running that company. What's the highest? Dave Sincere asked, what is the highest level of ISO would you go? Let's start with, let's say, the 6500. For video, let's say, or even for photos.
I wouldn't push past 3200.
Yeah.
For A7R, I wouldn't push past 6400 for photos, and I wouldn't push past 3200 when I'm shooting full frame A7R2 video, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go however high it needs to go when I'm shooting sports. I mean, if I have to go to 6400 or even 10,000 ISO, I'll do it, but I cringe because I know I'm gonna hate like the image quality later. But if it's like, if I don't have a choice and I have to shoot, I'll go to those higher ISOs. But 3200 or 4000 is where I'll be at for like APS-C. And then with this, I've shot the A7R2 with the Super 35 mode. I'll go like a 12,800 though with the APS-C mode on the A7R2.
And that still looks pretty good for you.
Yeah, You know, I take that back. I don't know. I haven't seen.
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what? When you have so much crap, you try. It's really hard to like find time to just try equipment and gear. It's just such a problem sometimes. Like, what am I going to test today? What am I going to test the next day? And it's just getting out of hand, man. It's getting out of hand. That's why I'm just doing these live streams. It's just easier just to talk about stuff.
oh, it's great. It's great. I mean, you inspired me to do some live as well.
I really think live.
Yeah,
I think if we can get the whole live thing going, I think it's just something different.
It's easier to answer questions too, because I apologize if you're watching and there's a comment that you left on my video that I didn't get back to you yet, because that I do receive a lot of essays and it's hard for me to comment back because I have to type my own essay out back to you guys. So I feel like this live thing helps mitigate that. Like, we can explain it better. I mean, if we need to show something, we need to demonstrate something, the live video is definitely going to be really helpful.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm going for in the future is, I know the stream I was doing on Saturday, I had my Sony camera connected. You know what's funny? I bought the Blackmagic, there's a Blackmagic Ultra Mini recorder. I thought it was going to work on
that. Oh my gosh.
Because I can't do two Elgatos at once. The Blackmagic Ultra Mini recorder is like the Elgato, but I needed, since I'm using an a Windows laptop, the Thunderbolt too. I have a Thunderbolt. It was a mini DisplayPort on here. It wouldn't work. So I'm gonna send it back, and I'm gonna go ahead and buy. I went and ordered an another capture card, but not Elgato brand.
Okay.
Because OBS, you cannot have two Elgato capture cards. The OBS won't read it at all.
Wow. Okay.
It won't read two different cards. So I'll have my DSLR or whatever camera to record me, and then I'll have the other one recording the camera to show, like, if people had a question about the camera. So.
All right. Yeah. Good to know.
That's the way I would go.
I'm not buying Elgato anymore.
Well, I mean, you can get an Elgato, just one. The Elgato works. Or unless the Ultra, I think the Blackmagic stuff you're using your Mac is perfect. It'll work fine. You can probably get two of those if you want to do two different captures.
I'll experiment more for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Adam Graham asks, what are your thoughts on the Medicon 35mm f/0.95? I haven't used it.
I'm sorry, Adam. Yeah, me neither. Sorry about that.
How much is it? Let's see. On 35. You need 0.95? Oh, wow. It's $500 right now.
Is it full frame?
No, it's APS-C.
Oh.
That would be a good lens for Micro Four Thirds.
Oh yeah.
Micro Four Thirds needs as much light as they can get.
Yeah, the Voigtlander we use is 0.95 as well, but I think it's like a 1.8 equivalent.
Yeah. I don't want to get into that whole argument.
Oh yeah, I don't either. Sorry. Let's just move on.
I really don't care.
That's a political debate right there.
Like, you know those things when they're arguing about I remember back then there was this thing like a 50 is not a portrait lens, or it's got to be an 85. But I'm like, man, whatever works, man.
Whatever you call it, whatever you feel like it's a portrait. I've seen people do amazing portraits with a 35-1.4. So
see, for me with the portraits, I just stick with the 85 because I like how it looks. And then if you want like an environmental portrait, then yeah, 35. I'd go for 35.
There you go.
Environmental stuff. There you go. I finally got to Travis says DMV stands for DC, Maryland, Virginia. I'm sorry, Travis. This is so late and delayed.
All right.
I didn't know that's what it stood for. HVTV Haj Blogger says, "What's up? Big up from Scotland. Hey man, what's up? What time is it in Scotland?" 426 Productions. Jason, I have an A6000. I've been filming for a very long time. Question: is it worth getting an external shoe mic, or would it be worth saving the money and throwing it on a dead cat?
What?
You're talking about the since there's no microphone port on the A6000, is it worth investing in an external shoe mic, like the microphone goes onto the top? There's only one.
There's no microphone jack for the 6000?
No, there's not, man.
Sorry, I don't use a 6000. I think this question is more for you.
I bought. What's it called? I don't remember what it's called. Who's asking it? 426 Productions. There is a microphone. There is a microphone that you can buy that should work on the A6000. I bought it when I bought it off Amazon. I bought it used and it didn't work.
Ooh.
It didn't work, but that was because it was probably broken. Let me see if I can find the name of it. Okay, it is called, let me screen past this really quick because I can.
Oh.
Whoa. There it is.
Oh, shit. Oh, look at that. Wow.
Can you see that, Jason?
I can see
I
that.
ordered it November 20th. Did my camera just die? Crap. Okay.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Yeah. I ordered November 20th. But yeah, this is the thing that's supposed to work on the A6000. So who asked that?
Yeah,
426 Productions.
I was gonna actually recommend that too because I heard great things about it. Like you can even put in a headphone jack on that too, right?
It has a mic out, I see pictures, but I don't know. Let's see. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you're saying that works with the 6000.
It's supposed to work with the A6000. Yeah, it's supposed to work.
Yeah, get that one then if it works with the 6000.
But then I ended up getting like the XLR K2M. And I gave my story about this on my last video, but I want to pick this up because my A7R2, the microphone broke. My first A7R2. Right.
Yeah, I remember.
I told a story on that. I picked this up and it still didn't work.
What?
I bought the, so what happened was, so for those of you out there that didn't see that story, I was shooting like a short skit with the A7R2. The strap was on it. I put it on a table and then I picked up the camera. So I went and picked up the camera. It was on the table and the strap got caught on the edge of the table. My hand slipped, camera fell. It fell on its side like that onto the ground and it smashed the microphone cord. So I couldn't record any audio. My Rode mics wouldn't work anymore. So I went and bought all those the hot shoe mounted microphones from Sony. Didn't work at all. So now I have an XLR K2M, which I don't really use. Great. Maybe I'll sell it soon. So we'll see. All right, 426 Productions. Hopefully that answered your questions. 426 Productions, throw a dead cat onto the onboard mic. Oh, I've seen people do it. Have you seen that? Have you seen that? I've seen
like what people do with the RX 100, put like a little dead cat on it.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad workaround for the time being.
My only question is, what are you shooting? Like, what are you filming? So
yeah,
I'm gonna need more context.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hammy says, "Hey, Hammy, thanks for joining the stream. I see you usually. No dead cat doesn't make a big difference. How about when there's wind?" 426 Production says, "Is the upgrade to the A6000 or the Alpha 6500 worth it?" Jason, what do you think? Would you go from the A6000? Is it worth going from the A6000 to the 6500?
Sorry, one more time.
Is it worth going upgrading from the 6000 to the 6500?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, it's for video, right? Hell yeah, of course it is. I mean,
yeah, for video,
you're getting 4K crisper quality. I'm at a loss of word right now. I mean, like, I personally haven't played with the 6000, but I mean, just the file format it records to, getting that mic. Now that I find out the 6000 doesn't even have a mic jack, I think it's going to be way better. You're going to feel like a huge difference with it. Plus, I believe the video autofocus might be better on the 6500. No?
I think it's okay. I think the 6000 is not bad actually with regards to its continuous autofocus video. I don't think there's I don't think I've noticed a significant jump, but I think for 426 Productions, I think if you need 4K, if you need 4K, don't go to the 6300, skip to the 6500. That's how I would look at it. and you still have access to the 120 frames per second, or the 100 frames per second if you're in the PAL region. That's what I would say. 426 also asks, can the Sony Alpha 6500 run a remote video from the phone? Because you cannot from the A6000.
Man, you're on fire with those questions.
You can, yeah, you can wirelessly control and record with your phone.
Can you?
From what I have a video on that. I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't remember. But what I understood, you could connect your phone. You can connect your phone and record, and you can see what you're recording on your phone.
What see the trouble I always have with my phone is that I can't control the ISO and the aperture and all that jazz on my phone. Can you do that?
See, I don't remember. I don't think you have complete control over that. I think it was just, I think you just didn't have control over picture profiles. You can't have access to picture profiles if you're shooting remotely.
I remember that. It was incredibly frustrating. The GH4, on the other hand, oh, you have all the controls you need on your phone. It was amazing. But yeah.
Um, 426 is asking you, Jason, would you mind discussing the A6000's lack of a live video feed?
I mean, why is he asking me all the 6,000 questions?
He doesn't. 426. He doesn't have a 6,000.
I don't have a. I'm so sorry, man. I don't. I've jumped on the Sony game literally after the 6000, so I've never actually used any of the older. If it's anything before this A7R2, I have not used it yet. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by live video feed. Do you mean like what we're doing right now? Like I have my camera connected and then I have it connected to my laptop. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what that means. Hopefully, unless he's talking about OBS.
Oh, there we go.
Is there an HDMI? If there's an HDMI, I don't have my A6000 handy with me right now, but if there's a HDMI out, if the A6000 has clean HDMI out, yes, you can. You could do it if it has live HDMI out. I'm gonna keep going. MKJ, Danny is awesome. I wonder if he's talking about me. All right.
Yeah. Who's this Danny? Who's this Danny guy?
It's that one camera guy. Dave Sincere, is there a raw image editing software you recommend? I still have the 32-bit Windows, so my options are extremely limited. I'm using the Sony Alpha 6300. I'm thinking raw therapy until I can upgrade a new laptop. What? I think someone already mentioned to Dave. I think Sony's Capture One's not bad. The free one.
I don't know if that's 32-bit or 64-bit. I mean, I'm not sure if that runs on the 32-bit though.
Does it matter though?
I don't know.
Unless you're using a really old computer. I'm guessing that's the situation, right? I'm thinking that might be it, Dave. I'm not sure. Sorry, Dave. I just don't have a really good answer for you.
Give Capture One Pro a try and let us know.
See, unless Capture One just doesn't work on an older 32-bit system.
Yeah, because I know Adobe fully switched to 64, so
yeah,
they switched a long time ago.
Just going through the questions. Dave Sincere says, Jason Vong, I saw in Manny Ortiz's latest video, he shouts you out saying you were there filming the workshop. How was it working with Manny? How was it working with them out there?
Manny, Keidron, and Francisco, they're all really awesome. They're all really great. They're all really great instructors. They're all very different in their teaching styles. So I personally get to witness it firsthand, just like their styles of teaching. Francisco, he's really good at just like telling you his method on how to shoot things. And he leaves it to you to think, and like it's sort of like, you know, he doesn't tell you everything. He leaves it to you to figure it out. Keydrin, he's really good at explaining things. Manny, he's very hands-on. He makes you go hands-on, which is personally one of my favorite learning methods. So they're really great instructors, first and foremost. Second, as people, they're really awesome. They're actually really fun behind the camera too.
Thanks for that, Jason.
Yeah.
Hopefully, to answer your question, Dave Sincere.
Danny, on the other hand, I don't know. That guy's kind of weird. I'm just messing. No, Danny's awesome. He's great too. Really fun behind the camera.
All right. Maze Lee, friend of mine's on the Panasonic G7. He's considering buying the A7 on a budget. What do you think? Should he stick with the G7 or go for an A7 strictly for video?
G7.
I think G7's a good all around. A7 if you really need low light. And you don't need 4K.
Yeah, isn't G7? I was about to say, isn't G7 4K?
Yeah, it does 4K. You know what's so funny? My story about the G7. Max Europe did a video. He was like, "Hey guys, it's like Christmas time. They're doing this really good deal on the Panasonic G7, and you get the Rode Video Mic Pro included."
Oh, I was thinking about other deals. Go on.
So that was going on. So I ended up buying two G7s with two Rode Video Mic Pros because I was like, I'm gonna go 4K. I didn't have a 4K camera then, so I was like, man, I'm gonna go 4K. So I went and bought two G7s with that deal, and that's what I went with. But I ended up selling all that stuff later.
Oh man, no. From what I heard, the G7, if I'm remembering correctly, the G7 was a very promising camera, like a very good B camera to the GH4. So G7. Yeah. My pick would be stick with the G7.
I would say go with the A7, the full frame.
Oh, all right.
I don't know how much is the Sony A7 now. If the A7 is actually not, let me do a quick search online. How much is that?
I checked. It was like under $1,000 at some point.
But was he saying A7 or A7S? What the heck? Oh, he said the A7.
Yeah.
Oh,
A7.
never mind. Go with the G7. I'm sorry. I thought you said A7S. Go with that.
No, he said A7, man. I was like, all right, you say so.
If it's A7S, I would go with the A7S. If it's the A7, go with the G7.
Yeah. If it's A7S,
right.
I would recommend. I would recommend A7S.
GF Matt just followed me too on my Instagram, I guess. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate you following me. The A426 Productions, the A6000 cannot wirelessly film. Only has a wireless photo function. Dave Sincere says, Capture One and Lightroom only use 64-bit. My computer is almost 8 years old. Dave Sincere, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, man. That sucks. That really sucks. If you can't get another computer, try.
I'm just curious. Would upgrading to like one of those Windows Surface is an option for you? Because I think it worked out for Manny really well, just processing photos on Lightroom. So maybe look into that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some cheaper options out there. Dave also says, let me correct that. I can download Capture One version 6, but it doesn't use RAW conversion. So unless he means like an older version of Capture One, obviously you can use an older version, but they don't have the updated RAW converter stuff.
Oh, that makes sense because you can't convert the RAW files of the 6300.
Yeah, you're in a bind. I'm really sorry, Dave. Just gonna have to. I can't really advise you other than maybe getting another computer when you can, Dave. All right, Rashov. Hey, Rashov. Thanks for joining the stream. Unless you've been on the stream for a while. A7 II or the Alpha 6300 for video. Jason, what's your take? A7 II?
6300. Wait, or 6500. I would say 6500, just because. Yeah, 6500 is.
So I'm sorry, Jason. It's only A7 II or A6300. He didn't say Alpha 6500. Which one should he go with?
Does the A7 II have IBIS, embody image
Yeah,
stabilization?
it does. It does. It does have IBIS.
I mean, if you
Okay, you don't. So you just say this, Jason. You have no other information. Rashad will not give you any more information. Assuming it's either those two, what would you do? Like that's it. There's no more information. That's it. Which one would you get?
6300.
I agree. I'll get 6300. I'll get 6300. If I was stuck between those two.
Yeah.
Because it's for video. I would go with the A7 II if I was doing portraits.
Yeah, A6300 for videos for sure.
Yeah. GFF matte. I use two G7s with my GH4 and they are amazing. Yeah, I don't know. They're awesome. Like
yeah.
If I didn't catch the Sony bug thing, I'd still have my GH4 and my two G7s.
Same.
But
well,
Sony just did some amazing things. Maisley, A7 on eBay is about $700. Would you buy an A7, Jason? The first one? I wouldn't.
Realistically, I wouldn't downgrade. Yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, realistically, because like I know for a fact that because I used the A7R2 and a 6500, it's very hard for me to go back to using the older cameras because like I'm so used to how those two cameras work. In fact, I actually prefer using my 6500 more than my A7R2 because I'm poking on the screen on my A7R2 thinking it's touchscreen because I'm so used to on a 6500 that I'm just like, what am I doing? So I am hoping A7R3 has the touchscreen functionality because I really
see for me it needs to have that touchscreen that's like at the same level as a Canon camera or something because
that too.
I'm just not finding I'm just not using it as often as I think I would. So
I personally use it very often. My buddy as well. It works really well with the Geo and Crane, and I actually was thinking about making a video with that because if you use the flexible spot, it really helps keeping your subject in focus.
I get you.
Yeah.
So there are some definite options for that or reasons for that.
Mm-hmm.
Question everything. Glad you're still on the stream. In both of your opinions, what is the best looking camera within the past decade, DSLR or mirrorless? I would say the Olympus OMD EM10. So Jason, if you're thinking about it right now, what is the best looking camera past decade? That's a weird. Well, that's not a weird question. It's a tough question, but
yeah, I'm not thinking which camera. I'm thinking how I'm going to answer this.
Yeah, let me think here. I'm
gonna go ahead and say mirrorless. They look amazing. In form of like, if I have to say like aesthetics and form factor, the mirrorless wins hands down. The Canons are super bulky, but yeah.
I still love my Canon. Just can't let them go. I just can't.
Yeah, no, don't, because Canon is. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of crap for saying this. Canon is still great. I love Canon. I just don't use them, but I love Canon.
Canon.
If I could, and if I had the money, I would get the 60, just so I have a DSLR.
It's just that I always advise people to go with DSLRs if they can't afford the Sony mirrorless stuff yet, because I get that question so often. It's like I have a very limited budget. I want to buy what's the best lens I can get and the best body I can get for like $800. I'm like, what? I don't know what to recommend, or if they do event photography or something like that. Yeah. I would recommend going with the DSLR. There's just so many opportunities and lens choices for that.
Cool.
All right. For me, as far as the camera, I do like the Sony's cameras, the mirrorless cameras. Man, it's a tough question everything. I just like the camera that works. I just like the camera that just works well and gets the job done for me. It could look like a potato. The camera could look like a potato, but if it does 4K 60 frames per second, amazing slow motion, no rolling shutter, takes 100 megapixel photo stills. But if it looked like a potato, I'd still use it. That's just me.
What's important is what it can produce.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, does it make French fries?
But I feel you though. I feel you. Got to get on that aesthetic level though. Got to have a good looking camera.
Yeah. Dave Sincere is going to try and get a laptop. So Dave, hopefully you can get a laptop. Dave says, what type of specs would you guys recommend or suggest for when you're looking for a laptop? I guess first question is, do you want to go Apple or Windows? So, Jason, what about you?
Okay, I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but
stop worrying about that.
Dude, YouTube comments has scarred me for life, man. But anyways,
man, just shadow ban.
With Mac has never let me down. Like MacBook Pros, they have never let me down. They're always solid with their battery life. I never see any sort of deterioration with using them. Versus Windows, I always had a lot of issues with it, and this could probably just be because maybe the parts I put together, they don't really, work together really well. That could be an issue, but yeah, I would fork over more money just to have a more reliable machine, even if it's not the best of the best in terms of specs. I would still fork over the money just for reliability. So MacBook Pro would be my recommendation.
I agree with Jason in terms of what you're at. Oh, if you want like the best with the best reliability and the ability for you to walk into an Apple store and get assistance if you need it. If you end up getting something like a Dell, for example, you're gonna have a technician has to come to your house. They have to go. If that's something you're okay with doing, then that's cool too. I would say right now, if you're gonna go with Windows, the Dell XPS 5960, the Dell XPS 5960 is comparable to the MacBook Pro right now if you're looking at Windows versus Apple. But Apple just, the hardware just works typically, and they stand by their product a lot more, I would say. But if you are in the Windows camp, I would look at the Dell XPS, the Dell XPS 13, or even the Dell XPS 15. And the reason why I say that's because they still have an SD card slot.
Well, let me just throw on this. If you are okay with not getting the best of the best Mac right now, go roll back to the 2015, 2014s. I mean, if you're just editing photos, those are going to be just fine. Yeah. I personally got a used 2015 MacBook Pro, and it's working really solid with Lightroom.
Yeah, I would probably don't go with the latest and greatest one.
If you're editing videos, maybe you should go with latest and greatest, but yeah. Actually, no. I mean, I think if you're editing Final Cut Pro with 4K files, even on a 2015 Mac, it's actually not that bad. I don't know.
I think Dave's just looking for a computer, man. I think if you're trying to save money, just go I don't know. There's a lot of great deals on computers out there. I just don't know all of them very well, unfortunately. Nachito Bernal, one of the coolest teachers at school. Thank you. That's one of my students. He's on my stream.
Who? I'm just kidding.
Canna De La Rosa, does using a power bank as a charger contribute heat to the unit when charging? What's your experience on that?
That's a damn good question. I don't know. I would never charge while recording unless, I don't know, because I don't mount. Okay, so Is his name also Brandon Lee, the one that works for Linus Tech Tips? I know for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Because
A
I know he has a crazy rig that like he mounts an external battery on his just because he has to. But I personally don't, so I don't have any experience with that. I would imagine. I would imagine it would though.
Yeah, it does. I think it will warm up the camera because it's sending some type of sending voltage, I guess, to it. I don't know all the terms for it. I've actually gotten to the point where I've run the camera. The camera was running on power. It was plugged in, and the battery was it wasn't charging. Like it got to the point where the plugged in charger was recording. It was recording, but the battery was still dying. So the camera actually eventually died, even while it was plugged in through the USB. But as far as the contributing heat, yes, it does, I would say. Southwestern Studios, serious question for you now. Is it worth the upgrade from the 70 to 300 to the 7200 GMAS for sports using the Alpha 6500, of course? Southwestern, it depends on the sports you're doing. If you need to reach, the 7300 makes more sense. If you shoot a lot of low light, though, the 7200 GMAS makes the most sense out of those. So that's the way I would look at it, Southwestern Studios. If you can give me an example of something you shoot, then I can answer that better. And then they're following up on that question about the laptop. Yeah, having a quad-core CPU is definitely a plus, Dave. What would you say?
Core i7 or quad core. There's a difference, right? But yeah.
Yeah, Core i5s do have quad cores, but they're not hyper-threaded, so you don't get 8 cores. You get 4 cores, and that's it. And with the i7, you get that quad core. You get 8 threads. 4 cores, 8 threads.
I'm just gonna nod like I know what you're talking about.
All right. Let's see the questions.
Camera stuff we know, but computer stuff I'm kind of like I leave it to a buddy of mine that's like super knowledgeable in that.
I was going to ask you about the AMD Ryzen CPUs, but I'm going to skip that now.
Let's move past any computer questions.
Because those are dropping the price on Intel stuff right now, which is a really good thing for competition. GFF Matt says, Canon remains the king of color science for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I mean, I'm using a Canon camera right now to record this, and I like the color quality that's coming out of it. I don't know what it is. Canon just has the right little berries that are inside their cameras.
Yeah. I mean, if you play with the Sony, I don't know if you notice it yourself, but there's a noticeable green hue that comes out of the Sony.
I completely agree.
Every time I shoot in a grassy area, I'm just like, I have to pull the tint back to like the red because it's just so green on my face.
Yeah, I see that all the time.
Yeah.
Another shameless plug while you guys are out there, definitely make sure to follow Jason Vong. He's on Instagram. He is on YouTube as well. Is it Jason Vong Media? Is that how
Jason V Media.
Jason V Media. Search that into YouTube. And also don't forget to like or subscribe to this channel. And also don't forget to like this stream that you're on right now. I really appreciate it. I already got 1 dislike. I don't know how that happened, but that's okay. All right, we're going to jump back to the questions here if we can. I think we're going to close the stream in about 10 minutes. Is that okay with you, Jason?
Yep, I need to watch Walking Dead.
Okay. and I've got work tomorrow.
My girlfriend has been waiting patiently so we can
watch. Really? All right, 10 minutes or less. All right, here we go. Let's get through these questions. Dave Sincere, don't get any E-Machine computers. I don't know if they still make those or not. Do not get E-Machine. All right. Building a system. Do you want me to build you? 426 is offering to build Dave Sincere a system. Dave 426, you're so nice.
Damn.
PC Part Picker, that's a really great place if you're gonna wanna, if you want to go ahead and find some parts. I've used that when I was building my PC. No, that site is so junk. They have inaccurate prices. I mean, it's good just to kind of collect all your information. I built the last 3 PCs. Here's a camera question. Rishav asks, Danny, what light do you have beside you right now? I don't want to move my camera, but there's one light over here. It's just a lamp. That's it. That's all I've got. I've got my key light on my left, and then a light over there. Jason, what kind of lights you got on right now?
Some crappy light. No, I'm just kidding. I have whatchamacallit? Oh, blanking out. It's not Philip Hughes. I have the Life X. Thank you. The Life X bulb. I can control my lights. I can make.
Wait, did you get the ones with the? You got the ones with the ability to change the colors and everything?
Yeah, check it out. This is 5K. This is 5K soft daylight, and I can make this even more, or I can even like make it like warm. This is ultra warm right now, and I can like make it into like, you know, some mood lightings. So these are great. Ooh, look at that! Oh. Wow. You guys ready for a light show? I don't know if people can see it right now, actually. But
yeah, they can. I can see it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Jason, for sharing that.
Yeah. No more.
I definitely seen the YouTubers using that stuff, the variety of lightings.
Yeah. Definitely. This helps a lot because I like being able to change the Kelvin on my lights when I'm not filming a video. But yeah, it's just nice to have.
All right, let's go hammer through some last minute questions here. This Kenneth asks, does using a Zeiss 55mm with clear image zoom hold its sharpness on video, making it an 85mm via clear image zoom? Jason, have you used clear image zoom?
What camera is this on? Here's what I can quickly comment on. If you're shooting in 1080, don't go past 1.4 for clear image zoom, because after that it's going to go to crap. And that's even especially true if you're shooting 120 frames per second, because you're going to lose a lot of quality right there. For 4K, I would push it to 1.6 to 2.0, but I wouldn't abuse it. That's all I can say.
I agree with Jason Vong right there. I think that's the right thing. GFF Matt, what 2 profiles should I try first with the Alpha 6500? I don't really use profile scope, but I know you use S-Log. What would you recommend to GFF?
Okay, so for me personally, if I'm shooting outdoors, I like using autumn leaves, -3 contrast, -3 sharpness. Anything outdoors will look amazing from that. But if it's indoor, it gets too contrasty, so I would switch to PP1 when I'm indoor.
Boom. Answer from Jason. We're moving on. I just use standard profiles. I'm lame like that. Dave Sincere, when out on a shoot, what kind of rules do you give the client? I know a lot of client likes to micromanage. Jason, what rules do you give to clients?
Yeah, there is really no rules. Most of the clients I work with are like wedding couples.
And like for me, when I've done like portraits and stuff, they usually just ask me what to do. You know, they typically don't ask a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom Ring says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Zoom Ring?" Question everything. I shoot with an Alpha 6000 and was considering buying an old 50mm Zeiss to adapt. What are your thoughts? Thoughts on adapting an old 50mm lens?
Yeah, do it. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me reiterate. No, I mean, I know a lot of people who buy old Canon FD lenses and adapting it on Micro Four Thirds or Sony cameras. So those lenses are going to give you some really good quality stuff too. So there's nothing wrong with them. The only thing I would see is if you rely on autofocus, then that's something that you're going to lose out on. But that's it.
Yeah, for me personally, my personal opinion, I don't go for the manual lenses, because for the work that I do, I like to be able to use autofocus. so I avoid them, and I'd rather spend the money if I'm going to buy it. Obviously if you got it for dirt cheap, it's fine. But if I'm going to spend money, I might as well just get the lens and autofocus. But that's just my opinion.
Same. The type of work we do, we want to have autofocus.
Yeah, and you're saying the price is about $80, so you might as well just say that 80 and just go for the $200 50 1.8.
Yeah, so
just
that's
look
why,
online.
Yeah, that's why I said go for it. I mean, like those lenses are dirt cheap, so.
77 TikTok says that one camera guy and Jason Vong, love the work you're doing in the Sony field. Keep at it. I'll be waiting to hear about the next announcement. Sitting on my hands with 6000/6300 in the meantime.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Jason, yeah. Would you get the A9, Jason Vong? Would you sell your A7R2 if the A9 is as awesome as it sounds?
Yes. I contemplated during my whole trip in Japan. I was just like, if the A9 is as awesome as the rumors make it out to be, why not?
Southwestern Studio says, "Oh God, I missed the answer to my question. I had to use the restroom." Danny, do you mind answering it one more time about 7300? You know what's funny? My last live stream, I ended it because I had to go to the restroom. I was just like holding. I was like, I gotta go pee or something. I was just like, oh, we're done. We're done. All right. Southwestern, 7300 is good if you have a light and you're doing daytime sports. If you're shooting indoors or evening sports, get the 7200 G Master. All right. Oh crap. All right. Let's see. Any more questions? Zoomring. I have a camera question, guys. Do you know a camera who can shoot the Oscars without embarrassing moments? More computer stuff. More computer stuff. Does the Alpha 6300 overheat when shooting 120 FPS? Jason?
I've never tried, so I can't comment.
It will overheat. I mean, I've had the A6300 overheat. It was just on. It wasn't even recording. It wasn't even recording. It was just on. When I had it set up in my studio little setup, I had it facing down. It was just on. It wasn't recording. It overheated.
Wow, so, that's embarrassing. Yeah, you know, I actually recorded something in 1080 and it also overheated after 30 minutes too. So yeah, it was really irritating.
What's the megabits per second that the A65 records and resolution? I'm assuming the A6500. What's the megabits per second? It's 100 megabits per second.
There's 100 and there's a 60 option. Yeah. I shoot 60.
And 77 TikTok, any suggestions for a good macro lens? The last one I picked up was manual. I believe it's a bit iffy bringing manual focus. The 90mm macro, right? Have you used it, Jason? 90mm macro?
Only a handful of times. My buddy has it, so my macro lens that I use is the 30mm 3.5. Does a decent job. I wouldn't shoot bugs with it or anything that I get super close to that moves. But if you're shooting toys or getting close up of your camera gear, yeah, the 30mm 3.5 is amazing. Ring shots especially too. So budget for a budgeted macro lens, the 30mm 3.5 is a good lens.
And I mean, you can still use you lose autofocus, but you can use not step up rings, but the extension tubes.
Yeah,
I think we're going to do 2 more questions here, hopefully. 426 Productions, how do you counter the overheating issues? My A6000 overheats in venues that are indoor. 426 Productions, open up your A6000, take it apart, get some silicone pads, place it on where the heat builds up, then close it right back in. There's a YouTube video online that shows you exactly how to do that. That's the only thing that I know of that will work.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna open up my A6000. I think close in summertime. I think I'm gonna try. But that's the only thing I can think of.
I have a expensive solution.
Okay. Go for it. Oh, I got my other camera.
Well, you can open your battery door. I heard that kind of helps. And if you just like flip your screen out, that also kind of helps. I don't know. That would probably save you like a couple minutes. But from what I noticed when I'm using external recorders, like the Atomos Ninja 2 or the Atomos Assassin, they don't strain your batteries on your A7S2 or your A6300. So if you want to use your Atomos to record, then actually it does not overheat.
And I think there's actually some cages that have a fan built in.
That's the thing. That's the thing that I find weird. It's just that so many people out there are trying so hard to buy cages and these other things for the 6300. It's in my opinion, it's just not worth it. At that
Go to
point,
6500 already.
Go with 6500. Yeah, it's really not worth dealing with the 6300 overheating issue, unless you're only recording very short couple minutes. Then yeah, but other than that, I wouldn't tolerate the overheating issue with the 63.
All right, folks, it is 10:30 already. Massimo one. Okay, you are the last question. Okay, since my main video camera is now an Alpha 6500 with IBIS, is there any reason why I shouldn't pick up the Sigma 30 over the 35 f1.8 optical stabilized one? Massimo one. The Sigma 30, if you're going to use continuous autofocus, is going to be noisy, but you are going to get better control over your depth of field, and it's going to. I think it's going to look better. But that's the big thing. What do you think, Jason?
If you rely on AF, don't go with the Sigma 31.4. Again, it's just super noisy.
Yeah, but for focus, just for pictures, I think it'll be fine. It'll be good.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining the live stream, and Jason Vong, thank you so much for joining this stream out of the blue. We didn't have it planned at all. It was not planned.
It was somewhat planned. You're just
for
like
Tuesday.
You're just like, hey, let's. you want to do live now? And I was like, let me just do my hair first, clean up my room. Let's do it.
Guys, we are going to plan to do this once a week, maybe at least minimum. Is that cool with you, Jason?
That is,
and maybe cool maybe do it on his channel also. And don't forget to like the video if you didn't get a chance, and also to follow Jason V Media on his YouTube channel and his Instagram at Jason
V Media.
Something V Media. And for those of you watching this after the live stream, I will be posting a show notes hopefully maybe tomorrow, and you can go ahead and just kind of thumb through all the questions that we've asked. Hopefully.
Cool. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to close the stream here before it gets really awkward at Oh, man. All right, Jason.
Cool.
It was nice chatting with you.
Yeah,
you did it.
Are we still doing test stream on Tuesday as well? Or
I think we just figured it out.
All right,
we just need to.
You just need to email. You just need to email me the link, and I can just click on it, and I'll just be it'll be all good from there.
Dude, how do? Oh, okay, I guess I just stopped the live stop broadcast. All right, Jason. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, peace out.
Bye.